Like, would you buy gold as an investment?
I have gold.
Okay.
Everybody likes to.
You know what? If you have gold, you're dumb as fuck.
Well, I mean, it never. It's a small part. It's like a hedge against everything else.
Well, that was a lot. Listen, I love Bitcoin as much as the next guy, but Mark, you're wrong on this one, man. I'm not saying Bitcoin's not going to be the future and that gold maybe will take a backseat in the future, but right now, go look at a chart. It is still wise to be invested in gold. If I was you, you should be in both of them, not just choosing one and not the other.
So, Tim, I'm curious about that one. Why did you disagree with Mark?
Well, I don't disagree with Mark on everything. Like, if you would watch the entire video, which I think a lot of people did, there's a lot of points that Mark makes that are really good. But we singled out that one line, and there is a problem with it, and it makes crypto people look stupid and dumb if that's our opinion. And that is if you're investing in gold, that you're dumb AF. That is a false statement. The truth is, especially after that bear market that we just went through, and we're still going through at this moment, Bitcoin is not looking like the greatest investment ever. Those of us who are paying attention and understand the fundamentals and understand the future, we know and we're holding on. But to say someone's dumb AF to be focused on gold, unfortunately, that's just a bad take. And I want to look at the charts and go a little deeper and to show people as why that is. Let's go over here and look at the charts and look at gold investment versus the NASDAQ. Starting over here on gold, this isn't perfectly the bottom, but back here in March of 2000, this is when we started having a lot of economic woes. And gold, you can see, again, not quite the bottom. This is when that rally really started. Let's go over and look at that NASDAQ and see that this actually was the peak back here in March of 2000 before we had what looks like, let me actually go and move this line and get the exact measurement. We dropped over the next couple of years over 83% on the NASDAQ, whereas in that same timeline, gold just rallied all the way up. If you were to go all the way through both recessions that we had back in the early 2000s and 2008 and 2009, gold actually through that whole timeline ended up rallying over, let's go ahead and see, 645%. So to tell someone that gold was a terrible investment would flat out just be wrong. Let's go back over to the NASDAQ and look in that same time. Let's look at the other dip that we had. So this is the dip of the 2000s where we dropped again over 80%. But then here in 08, we dipped again. If you had bought into the NASDAQ, which a lot of people do, a lot of people think you should just continue to put money into it. And of course, you would be up if you bought here at the peak. But let's do that same timeline. Let's go into the year. We'll go all the way to 2011. Let's say you sold in 2011 like you could with gold. You would be down over 50%. In that same timeline, investing in gold, you would be up over 645%. The point that I'm trying to make here is gold has and will continue to be a good investment. I do think there's a day in the future, T-Shroom, where gold potentially is outpaced by Bitcoin. But let's even take a closer look and maybe look at what Bitcoin and gold are doing right now. Since hitting a new all-time high, this bear market has brought gold's price down a little bit, a grand total of 21%. And currently, at the making of this video, T-Shroom, we're only down 11% from the all-time high. Gold historically does well during recessions, and we're actually very close probably to setting a new all-time high on gold right now. Versus, if we were to go over to Bitcoin and you were to invest back at the all-time high we had back in last November, Bitcoin has dropped as far as all the way down to 77%. Currently, we are sitting about 75% down, and there is not a new all-time high necessarily coming soon. My overall point here is that you should be investing in both Bitcoin and gold. I think that the returns on Bitcoin potentially could be greater, but when you look at these seasons of life that we're going through, like a recession right now, historically gold has been and will continue in this next one to be a profitable investment, and it's a better hedge against losses. If we're looking at this bear market, Bitcoin, you're holding Bitcoin, you're down over 77%. Gold at its worst was only down 20%. For those reasons, right now, gold holders look a lot smarter than Bitcoin holders. That doesn't mean it won't change in the future, but to say someone investing in gold is dumb, well, Mark, that's dumb.